It is semifinal time, and one of today's teams will move on to the championship round and the chance for that $1,000 prize. Will it be the Rangers of Greely High School? Or the Red Storm from Scarborough High School? Find out next on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by the Helen and George Ladd Charitable Corporation, the Lincoln and Therese Filene Foundation, Platts Associates, Bernstein Schur, and by
What a moment when you find your way to a new home at your local Maine credit union. That'll feel just like home too, so you can settle in. The home loan you want? It's here. Contact your local Maine credit union. It's your moment. Own it.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community. With Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, you get more than a health plan. You get a partner. With benefits built around local needs, they're helping communities across Maine get healthier and happier. Visit harvardpilgrim.org to learn more. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to High School Quiz Show Maine. I'm Shannon Moss. We are down to just 4 teams, and today's winner will move on to the championship round with a chance to win $1,000 for their school's project graduation and to travel to Boston to compete into the Interstate Invitational against other quiz show champions from Boston, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Well, Scarborough defeated Brunswick in the quarterfinals, and Greely defeated last year's champion Bangor to move into this semi-final match. So before we begin, we always like to meet our players. So we're going to start with Scarborough, and we have Ian, John, Lena, Eric, with alternates Mary Jane and Will, and they are coached by Shane Davis. All right, for Greely, we have George, Maggie, Nicholas, and Chris, and our alternates are Thomas, and they are coached by Graham Shove. We also have our judges for today, Angela Absher and Gavin Barber, overseeing the proceedings today. We appreciate their help as always. Okay, our competition has 4 rounds. We have the toss-up, the head-to-head, a category round, and a lightning round. And we're going to start with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points, and this is the only round with no point deductions for wrong answers. So players, you must wait for me to complete the question, and if one team answers incorrectly, remember the other team will get a chance to answer. So players, is everybody ready? Let's get started. Known for its live free or die motto, what state in New England was named for a county in south central England? Chris.
New Hampshire.
That's the correct answer. From the Latin for needle prick, what ancient Chinese medical practice involves inserting needles into the skin at key points? George.
Acupuncture.
That's the right answer. Usually made with ginger ale and grenadine and garnished with a cherry, what drink is named after the most famous child star in Hollywood history? Lena.
Shirley Temple.
That's the right answer. In a famous nursery rhyme, 3 little kittens cried when they lost what? Nicholas.
Their mittens.
Mittens is the right answer. What Big Apple anthem was Frank Sinatra's last top 40 hit? Eric.
New York. New York.
That's the right answer. Between North and South Korea is a buffer zone about 4 kilometers wide called the DMZ. What does that stand for? Eric.
Demilitarized zone.
That's correct. The Babylonian Empire was founded by what king remembered for his set of laws? Ian.
Hammurabi.
That's the right answer. What 1844 novel features the characters Athos, Porthos, and Aramis? Three Musketeers is the answer. Our next question. What U.S. president served just 1 month in office before dying of pneumonia? Eric.
William Henry Harrison.
That's the answer. All right, we got a video question now if you want to take a look at your monitor.
Hello, I'm Senator Angus King. The first meeting of an elected legislature in what was to become the United States of America occurred in 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia. Name this body.
Chris.
Continental Congress.
That is incorrect. Scarborough? Eric.
The House of Burgesses.
That's the answer. Instantly recognizable with his goofy gap-toothed grin, what fictitious character has appeared on nearly every cover of Mad magazine? George.
Alfred E. Newman.
That's the answer. What slang term for a dollar is believed to come from the American frontier when deerskins were used as currency? Lena.
Buck.
Buck is the answer. What Maine native was the first woman to serve in both houses of Congress? Eric.
Margaret Chase Smith.
That's the right answer. We have a math question for you right now. Subtract 30 squared from 40 squared. Eric.
70.
That is incorrect. Greely? It's 700 is the answer. The Madeira Islands in the North Atlantic Ocean are part of what country? Eric.
Portugal.
That's the answer. What organ protects against infections, regenerates itself approximately every 27 days, and is the heaviest organ in the human body? Lena.
The skin.
That's right. For trying to balance the rights of free states and slave states, what Virginia politician earned the nickname the Great Compromiser? Eric.
Henry Clay.
Henry Clay is correct. The asteroid belt is about 124 million miles wide and contains nearly all the asteroids in our solar system. The belt lies between which two planets? Chris.
Mars and Jupiter.
That's the answer. Answers. Florida is bordered on the north by Georgia and what other state? Chris.
Alabama.
Correct. In the NFL, if the offense believes it can't score a touchdown, it may try for a field goal, which is worth how many points? Chris.
3.
3 is correct. We have a picture question now if you want to take a look at your monitor. Hosted by Russia, the 2018 Men's FIFA World Cup Championship match featured Croatia losing a tightly contested game to this Northern European country, giving them their second World Cup title. Eric.
France.
France is correct. The events of Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn take place in which of the following settings? Before the abolition of slavery, during the Civil War, or after the abolition of slavery? George.
Before.
Correct. Some of the world's tallest trees are found in Sequoia National Park, which is located in what U.S. state? Chris.
California.
California is correct. Derived from the Catalan word for pan, what Spanish national dish typically contains seafood, rice, and saffron? Chris.
Paella.
Paella is the right answer. We have a math question for you. A car is traveling 75 kilometers per hour. How many meters does the car travel in 1 minute? It was just in time. Ian.
1,500.
That is incorrect. Greely? It's 1250. What mountain chain in west central Russia forms a major part of the traditional boundary between Europe and Asia? George.
The Urals.
Urals is the right answer. Visible light waves are the only electromagnetic waves we can see. What color is produced by the longest visible light waves? Eric.
Red.
Red's the answer. What type of chemical bond occurs when one atom gains a valence electron from a different atom? Ian.
Ionic.
Ionic is the right answer. What capital city was the center of a major civil rights battle in 1954 when plaintiffs successfully challenged segregation in schools in Brown versus Board of Education? Chris.
No, I'm blanking.
Scarborough?
Topeka.
Ian, it is Topeka. What neighboring city is the twin city to Minneapolis? Chris.
St. Paul.
St. Paul is the answer. In zoology, fish species are divided into groups: jawless, cartilaginous, and what? George.
Bony.
Bony is the right answer. And that is the buzzer. So that is the end of round one. Let's take a look at our score. We have Scarborough High School with 150 points, Greely High School with 130. That is a great start. I have a feeling this is going to be a very interesting game for sure. And we're going to chat with our players, get to know them a little bit when we come back. Stay with us.
Trees are down. The power is down. But you're not powerless. The mobile app from Safety Insurance can help you file a claim. You can ask an independent agent about safety insurance. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Our head-to-head round is coming up next, but as always, we do like to take a little bit of time to see what our players have to say to our very special question. So here it is, and we're going to start with, if you could produce a TV reality show, what would it be? And we're going to start with you, Ian.
I hate reality TV, so I think I would instead produce a nature show about African mammals.
Fantastic. I love it. All right, let's go to John.
I would make a show where you take celebrity families and you give them an hour to build a boat, and then at the end of it, you have them go on their boats and like fight on a lake, and then see who wins.
All right, like a pirate theme maybe in there somehow. Okay, I like
exactly.
it. I like where your head's at. All right, Lena, what about you?
I would do an engineering design challenge where contestants competed to build a solution to a problem.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think you're onto something. All right, Eric?
I'd have contestants go into separate movie theaters and then compete to see who can watch the most movies before being kicked out.
Without paying, right?
Of course.
Okay. George, what about you?
It would be like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but it's also Jeopardy, and there's a dunk tank, and I'm the host.
Oh, wow. That's... Giddy up. Okay, Maggie?
It'd be called Dance Empty Nesters. It's like, what are the dance moms doing when their kids leave?
Oh my gosh, that's priceless. Nicholas?
I'd probably do a show keeping up with forest rangers in Maine and what they do.
That is very interesting. I like that. All right, Chris?
I'd have a show called Worst Cooks in Maine because the current show, Worst Cooks in America, has yet to have a Maine contestant. So show some spotlight for all the terrible cooks out there in our wonderful state.
In the Pine Tree State, bad cooks. I love it. All right, so great. I love all of your answers. And now, of course, it'll be time to go head-to-head. That head-to-head round is coming up next. And while we set up for that, here is a look at the Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week.
Hi, I'm Todd Mason, and this is Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week. Let's look at slang terms for money. You have a sawbuck, a fin, a Hamilton, and 2 bits. How much money do you have? Do you have $17.25, $25.25, or $27.50? Think about it, and we'll have the answer later in the show.
We are about to go head-to-head. I've got Greely to my left and Scarborough to my right. Gentlemen, if you want to shake hands. All right, in this round, you get 10 points for correct answers, but remember, incorrect answers will cost you 10 points. You can buzz in at any time. You don't have to wait for me to finish the question. You guys ready? We're going to set that clock for 90 seconds, and here we go. What main character is visited by ghosts in A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens? Greely.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
That's the right answer. Bucharest is the capital city of what Eastern European country? Romania. In 1889, Adolf Hitler was born in what country?
Austria.
Austria is the answer. Children's author P.L. Travers wrote about what magical nanny who works for the Banks family? Greely.
Mary Poppins.
That's the answer. What former U.S. First Lady helped draft the 1948 Universal Declaration? Yes, Scarborough.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's the answer. What organ in the human body produces a digestive fluid called bile? Greely.
Gallbladder.
It is the liver. Nearly 90% of the world's earthquakes occur along what ocean's ring of fire? Scarborough.
Pacific.
Correct. Hope, Despair, and Memory is a Nobel Prize lecture delivered by what Holocaust survivor? Elie Wiesel. The Industrial Revolution began in England in what century? Scarborough.
19.
That is incorrect. It's 18. What does the G stand for in Super G alpine skiing? Giant is the answer. The electric eel is native to what continent? South America. In Major League Soccer, the abbreviation PK stands for what? Yes, Scarborough.
Penalty kick.
That's right. Atomic number 11 refers to what chemical element with the symbol Na? Yes, Scarborough. Sodium's correct. What fictional elephant married his cousin Celeste in an elaborate 1931 ceremony? Scarborough.
Dumbo?
Is Babar. And that is the buzzer. Let's take a look at our score. Scarborough with 170, Greely with 150. We got a close game. This is exciting, I'm telling you. All right, our category round is coming up next. Stay with us, everyone. Coming up next is the category round with the following choices. Lake Effect, Lost in Translation, Rebel Rebel, Pump It Up, Beam Me Up, and Potpourri. Each category has 5 questions with increasing point values. Now, players, you must wait for me to finish the question before you answer. Now, remember, you can confer with your teammates, but once you buzz in, we are going to need the answer and you can no longer confer. Okay, like in the toss-up round, if one team answers incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to answer. So, Greely, you're a little bit behind, so you get to choose first. And what category appeals to you?
Let's start off with Beam Me Up.
Beam Me Up. Okay, this category, questions about science fiction film and TV. In films such as Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. Extraterrestrial, what American director has shown a fascination with aliens? Maggie.
Spielberg.
That's correct. Okay, Greely, what do you think? What's next?
Let's keep going.
All right, we're going to go with Beam Me Up, 15. First appearing in the 1967 episode Errand of Mercy, what alien warrior species on Star Trek was widely seen as a Cold War stand-in for the Russians? Maggie.
Vulcans.
That is incorrect. Scarborough? Ian.
Klingon.
Klingon is the correct answer. Scarborough, what would you like? Where would you like to go?
Lake Effect.
Lake Effect. Okay, questions about lakes. This is for 10 points. What lake is the largest inland body of salt water in the United States? Eric.
The Great Salt Lake.
Great Salt Lake is the answer. Okay, what are you thinking?
Lake Effect.
Lake Effect. This is for 15 points. What lake on the border of Switzerland and France is the largest alpine lake in Europe? Eric.
Lake Geneva.
That's the answer.
Lake Effect.
I had a feeling you'd say that. All right, Lake Effect for 20 points. The city of New Orleans is on the shore of what brackish lake that's about 40 miles long and 25 miles wide at its widest point? Eric.
Lake Pontchartrain.
That's the answer. You want to keep going or do I switch it up?
Sure, why not?
Keep going. Okay, Lake Effect, this is for 25 points. Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada includes what glacial lake named for a daughter of Queen Victoria? Eric.
Lake Louise.
That's the answer. You want to wrap up this category for 30 points?
Sure.
All right. What large lake in southern Siberia is the oldest and deepest freshwater lake on Earth? George.
Lake Baikal.
That's the answer. And Greely, you have control of the board. What do you think?
Let's go back to Beam Me Up.
Beam Me Up. This is for 20 points. In the 1977 film Star Wars, what home planet of Princess Leia is destroyed by a powerful new weapon called the Death Star? John.
Tatooine.
That is incorrect. Greely and Chris.
Alderaan.
That is the right answer. Okay, Greely, what do you think?
Let's keep going.
We're going to keep going with Beam Me Up, and this is for 25 points. In the 2009 film Avatar, the Na'vi are tall, blue-skinned aliens that live on a densely forested moon called what? George.
Pandora.
That's the answer. All right, you want to wrap up this category?
I think we do.
All right, Beam Me Up for 30 points. In the 1985 film Back to the Future, Dr. Emmett Brown builds a time machine using what sports car notable for its stylish gull-wing doors? Maggie.
A DeLorean.
That is the answer. Okay, Greely, new category. What do you think?
How about Rebel Rebel?
Rebel Rebel. This category, questions about the Confederacy, and this question is for 10 points. After the Civil War, what former Confederate president was imprisoned for 2 years and indicted for treason? George.
Jefferson Davis.
That's the answer. What would you like next?
Let's keep going.
We're going to keep going with Rebel Rebel, and this question is for 15 points. What commander of the Army of Northern Virginia was given wide scope in conducting the war? George.
General Lee.
That's the answer. You want to keep going with
We
Rebel
do.
Rebel? Okay, so this is for 20 points. On April 9th, 1865, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant at what Virginia courthouse? George.
Appomattox.
That's the answer. All right, stay with it? Okay,
I
you can
think
tell
so.
by that head nod there. Rebel Rebel for 25 points. The Civil War began on April 12th, 1861, when Confederate forces attacked a U.S. Army post at what South Carolina fort? George.
Fort Sumter.
That's the answer. I'm going to wrap up. Rebel. Okay, this is for 30 points. Stonewall Jackson was killed during what 1863 battle that is paradoxically remembered as Lee's greatest victory? Nicholas.
The Battle of Gettysburg.
That is incorrect. Scarborough. Ian.
Chancellorsville.
That's correct. And Scarborough, you have control of the board. What category are we going to?
Let's try Lost in Translation.
All right, Lost in Translation. Questions about foreign loan words. This is for 10 points. What Swahili word for travel refers to an expedition to see or hunt animals, especially in Africa? George.
Safari.
That's correct. All right, Greely, what do you think?
Lost in Translation.
We're going to continue on. Lost in Translation for 15 points. What Dutch word that literally means earth pig refers to an African animal that looks very similar to the anteater of South America? Eric.
Aardvark.
That's correct. Scarborough, what do you think?
Lost in Translation.
All right, Lost in Translation for 20 points. What two-word Latin term meaning other self refers to another aspect of one's personality? Maggie.
Alter ego.
That's correct. Okay, Greely, what do you think?
Lost in Translation.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue on. Lost in Translation, this is for 25 points. What 10-letter German word refers to a strong desire to rove or travel about? George.
Wanderlust.
That's correct. All right, want to continue on? All right, going to wrap up this category, Lost in Translation. This is for 30 points. Western cultures generally recognize 4 flavors: sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. Asian cultures recognize what 5th flavor that means yummy or savory in Japanese? George.
Umami.
That's correct. Okay, Greely, what category?
Let's do potpourri.
Potpourri. This is for 10 points, and these are questions about Edgar Allan Poe. What short story ends with the narrator confessing, "I admit the deed, tear up the planks, here, it is the beating of his hideous heart"? Lena.
The Telltale Heart.
That's correct. Okay, Scarborough, what do you think?
Potpourri again.
Potpourri. This is for 15 points. The Pit and the Pendulum is a terrifying story about a prisoner who has been sentenced to death during which of the following? The Spanish Inquisition, the American Civil War, or the French Revolution? Eric.
The Spanish Inquisition.
That's correct. Okay, Scarborough, what's next?
Potpourri.
Potpourri for 20 points. In his most famous poem, The Raven, the narrator is driven mad by a talking raven who repeats what word over and over? Maggie.
Nevermore.
That's correct. Okay, Greely, you have control of the board.
Potpourri.
We're going to continue on with potpourri, and this is for 25 points. Edgar Allan Poe was born in 1809 in Boston and died at age 40 in what U.S. city? The answer is Baltimore. And Greely, you still have control.
Let's do Pump It Up.
All right, new category, Pump It Up. Questions about the human circulatory system. This is for 10 points. What artery that originates from the left ventricle of the heart distributes oxygenated blood to all parts of the body? George.
Aorta.
That's correct. Okay, Greely, what's next?
Pump It Up. Let's keep going.
Pump It Up for 15 points. The lower chambers of the human heart are called ventricles, and the upper chambers are called what? Chris.
Atriums.
That's correct. All right, what do you think, Greely?
Pump It Up.
We're going to continue on. Pump It Up for 20 points. Oxygen is transported from the lungs to the rest of the body through what iron-containing protein found in red blood cells? John.
Hemoglobin.
That's correct. And that's the buzzer. So that ends our category round. Let's take a look at our scores right now. Scarborough High School has 325 points. Greely has 420. We've got the final round. You know what that is? That's a lightning round where anything can happen. And that is when our winner, when we'll announce it, we'll move on to our Season 3 championship. And we'll get to all of that right after you see the answer to this week's Maine's Credit Union's Question of the Week.
More High School Quiz Show Maine coming up. But first, let's hear the answer to this week's Question of the Week. Let's look at slang terms for money. You have a sawbuck, a fin, a Hamilton, and 2 bits. How much money do you have? Do you have $17.25, $25.25, or $27.50? The answer is $25.25. A sawbuck and Hamilton are both $10 bills. A fin is a $5 bill, and 2 bits equals 25 cents for a total of $25.25.
Okay, we are heading into the final 90 seconds of gameplay. This is the lightning round. Players, remember, you can buzz in at any time. You get 20 points for correct answers, but remember, incorrect answers will cost you 20 points. So let's set that clock, and here we go. Cape Mendocino, located south of Eureka, is the westernmost point of which Ian.
California.
California is the answer. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Eric.
Amelia Earhart.
Correct. The Cassini division is a large gap between the two most prominent rings of what planet? George.
Saturn.
Saturn's correct. What European capital is the setting for the Shakespeare? George. It was Vienna. What is the southernmost state capital in the United States? Eric.
Honolulu.
Correct. What plant-eating dinosaur has a name that means three-horned face? Ian.
Triceratops.
That's the right answer. In the U.S., what 1787 document is defined as the supreme law of the land? Chris.
Constitution.
That's the answer. What two-word phrase allows Ali Baba to enter the cave of the 40 thieves? George.
Open Sesame.
Open Sesame is the answer. In March 1995, after 20 years, British soldiers ended routine patrols of what city in Northern Ireland? George.
Belfast.
Correct. What is the next prime number after 37? Eric.
41.
That's the answer. What organic compound provides the orange color in carrots? Maggie.
Keratin?
That's the answer. What modern-day country was once known as Persia? Chris.
Iran.
Iran's right. The 1947 novel, that is the buzzer. So our winning team is Greely with 520 points. They will be moving on to the championship in 2 weeks. Our runner-up, Scarborough, had a fantastic game with 425 points. You should be very proud of yourself coming this far and playing so well. Oh my gosh. And we hope to see you guys back next year. I know we will. Okay, next week, join us for the second semifinal match as Falmouth takes on Portland. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. And we'll see you next time on High School Quiz Show Maine.
Production support for High School Quiz Show Maine is provided by the Helen and George Ladd Charitable Corporation, the Lincoln and Therese Filene Foundation, Platts Associates, Bernstein Schur, and by
Every day, Maine credit unions give you a new chance to make your money go further so you get ahead faster. Because with a credit union, you own a piece of the pie. Contact your local Maine credit union. It's your moment. Own it.
Energy is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about living life. As parents, friends, and teammates, Unitil is proud to support High School Quiz Show Maine. Unitil, more than a utility, part of your community. With Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, you get more than a health plan. You get a partner. With benefits built around local needs, they're helping communities across Maine get healthier and happier. Visit harvardpilgrim.org to learn more. And by viewers like you. Thank you.